Welcome to TEACA Live. This is our 8th segment and we're so happy for you to join us today. So today is May 14th. We actually have the Granite Featuring Sale experience right now in TEACA website where all classes are at 30% off. So this sale will happen starting yesterday, until Monday next week. So today we're going to make Korean corn dogs. So Korean corn dogs is something that you'd easily see in the streets of Myeongdong, in Hongdae. It's a Korean street food. So if you watch Korean drama, you might know what I'm talking about. So how is this different from the American corn dogs? It's really the texture. So what I'm making today is the traditional style, not the one with the baking soda, but the one with the yeast. And later I will tell you why this one is better. So before we begin, I'd like to thank our sponsors for the day. We have Arla. We'll be giving away Arla unsalted butter for today, and of course Kraft Heinz, our newest sponsor. So, well, honestly, this is a personal favorite of my kids. This is one of those dishes that is very simple to make with very easy ingredients, but you know, it's very hearty, it's very satisfying. So the best food, honestly, are the simplest to make. You don't want it overly complicated, you just need to know how to make it well. Okay, so before we begin, my name is Chef Andrea Amado, and as I mentioned, it's our 8th TEACA Live class, and we're making Korean corn dogs. So wherever you are, give us a shout out in the comments so we know. Oh no, we have a delivery. So give us a shout out wherever you are and let us know you're there. So before we begin, for you to be eligible to join any of the raffle prizes that we have in store today, you have to like the TEACA page. This is very, very, very important, because if you do not like the page and you don't share this video, you will not get a sharer's badge. Now, when you share the video, you have to make the post public. And after you do that, like the page, the TEACA page, and you share it, and it's a public share, and then you will get the sharer badge. That way, it will make you eligible to win today's prizes. And today's prizes are amazing, because every winner gets 2 kilos of Arla unsalted butter, which is perfect for baking. Besides that, you're going to get Heinz tomato ketchup, which is an absolute favorite in my house. You get mayonnaise, Leia and Barron's, and mustard in one set. So the lucky winner gets one of each, plus the 2 kilos of Arla unsalted butter. So it's very simple. You just have to answer the question at the right time. But make sure you have the sharer's badge. And the best way to check if you have the sharer's badge is if you give us a comment, give us a shout out, and you will see there if you get a sharer's badge. Okay, so as mentioned earlier, we have our Granite Featuring Sale experience right now, and everything is on sale in TEACA for 30% until Monday. So let's start this class. Now, this is going to be a yeast-based batter. It's not going to be a baking soda, baking powder base, or we're not going to use it as our leavening agent because it actually works better with a corn dog. Now, majority of the online classes you'll see online will have the baking powder recipe, but it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just that this batter is easier to handle if you're going to add potatoes, if you're going to add instant noodles, which we will add later. Now, I'm using active dry yeast, so that means I have to make my water warm. So let me just microwave this quickly. Now, I microwave my water for 10 seconds and then I'll bring it out and add my yeast. Now, if you're using instant yeast, you don't have to activate it. Hello from Nish, Zara, of course, and Ben. Hello, Ben. Well, Ben actually won before in our TEACA testimonial. And of course, Zara, the ever supportive mother of Carla, is online. Hello, Zara. So, we're adding yeast. Now, personally, I keep my yeast in the refrigerator for it to store longer. If you are using instant yeast, no need to activate. Now I'm adding sugar with my yeast mixture because sugar and yeast, they're good friends. Yeast doesn't like salt. Ex niya yun. Hindi sila pati. So yeast and sugar, they're good friends. We will activate this. We will leave this to activate for 10 minutes, 10 to 15. Now, how do you know if the yeast is activated? You will see bubbles. You will smell that yeasty, foamy smell in 10 minutes. Actually, if you see like a foam on top, that means your yeast has been or is activating. Okay, so are you ready for our first raffle? Now, before we begin, this is only for Metro Manila students or Metro Manila viewers only. And the reason for this is the shipping. You shoulder the shipping, we'll send it to you. And if you win and you're from, let's say, Canada or US, you can actually have it sent to your relative who doesn't want to receive Kraft Heinz stuff and Arla butter. You know, these are really premium ingredients. These are basically top of the line condiments and top of the line butter. So, I hope you're ready. Your sharer's badge is ready. Then let's begin our first raffle. Okay, so very easy first question. Carla is making it very easy for everyone today. The fourth person who answers correctly gets the prize. After you win, after you've been declared the winner, you have to message us so we can coordinate with you on how we can send you your prize. Our first question is super, super crazy easy. Please give us the correct or the complete answer. What dish will I be making today? Sobrang dali, di ba? Sobrang dali. If you don't know that, I don't know what you're watching here.
Chef Andrea from Zaria. Can I join, Chef?
Why aren't you here, Zara? Why isn't Carla bringing you here? I don't know why. You should come over one of these days for dinner and bring me a new trash can. Carla will explain to you why. Okay, so I am using, while we're waiting for our yeast to activate, I will start preparing all our other ingredients. So I'm using bread flour. Now bread flour, all-purpose flour, whatever you have is okay, but in my personal preference for this is to use bread flour. In means of texture, may pinagkaiba ba? Yes, but honestly, it's minimal. You can go away with all-purpose flour if you do not have bread flour. Okay, and then I'll be adding rice flour. So as mentioned earlier, this is the more traditional way of making it. So if you're going to eat this in Korea, this is how they would make it. Now, if you don't have rice flour, if you don't have bread flour, you can actually just use all-purpose flour. The recipes are going to be posted later on, and well, all of our TEACA Live classes are in TEACA's YouTube channel, so you just have to subscribe, and that way you will get all the new classes with the free recipes. The recipes will be posted in the description. Okay, so I'm mixing the salt here also. And I am waiting for our yeast to activate. Matagal-tagal pa si yeast natin. Do we have a winner yet, Carla? We have a winner. And our winner is Ben Romero. Ben, you have to message us who will receive your prize, because I think you live abroad, diba? I think you live abroad, so if you do not live abroad, fantastic. Just message us where to send your prizes, and then we'll, send it in or coordinate with your relative also. That's perfectly fine. So while we're waiting for our yeast, so earlier it was, very clear. Now it's a bit murky. I don't know if you can see that. It becomes murky once the yeast starts activating. Okay, so before we mix this, we'll ask our second question. Ang dadali ng questions today ni Carla. I don't know why. Okay, so for this event, of course, we're using our Nextware pan. Our Nextware pan, of course, is, it's non-stick. It has honeycomb technology. It's very good for non-stick frying pan, but it's also good for frying because the metal is very thick. Now, before we continue, of course, we have Kraft Heinz as well. We're giving away mayonnaise, ketchup, Leia and Parents. I grew up eating a lot of Leia and Parents and steak, and of course mustard. Now, whoever wins the next one will get one of each and 2 kilos of Arla butter, unsalted. So if you're a baker, you would want to get this prize. Our second question is very simple. Who is, the third person who replies gets the prize. Third person. Who is TEACA's newest sponsor? Who is TEACA's newest sponsor? Very easy. I've mentioned their brand so many times. While we're waiting for a winner, I'm going to add our yeast, sugar, and water mixture with our flour.
Chef Andrea, Chef Pauline is saying hello to everyone.
Pauline! Pauline, we miss you. Okay, we're adding an egg. Is she gonna come over? Pauline, you're gonna come over? We have so much food. Chef Pauline is actually, she lives near me, so if I need someone to have, dinner with, to drink with, madaling yayain yan si Chef Pauline. Okay, so we're going to mix this. Now usually when you mix, you use a whisk, right? But the reason I'm using a spatula is because this is going to be a very sticky batter. And I would want the whisk so all the flour in the side will be incorporated very well.
Chef Andrea, we have a winner.
And our winner is Kathleen Meha. Kathleen, congratulations. So, very easy. Don't forget your sharer's badge is very important. If you do not have your sharer's badge, you're automatically not eligible to win. So, how do you get your sharer's badge? You have to like the page and you have to, share this video publicly. Very simple. Okay. Now, this dough needs a bit of work. You have to mix it very well. Any other questions so far about the sale, about other classes? Because it's the month of May, and I love May because, it's a very happening time and it's mango season. So if you have not yet purchased my kimchi class, it's one of those classes that I am guaranteeing you, after one batch of mango kimchi, you would get the return of investment from buying that class right away. Well, this month is the best time to get that class because it is mango season. And when you buy that class, ideally, if you're planning to sell it, buy a mandolin. Kasi maluloko ka sa shop. Okay. I am using my hands now, and I'm going to knead this by hand.
Chef Andrea, Chef Pauline says she's missing her food.
You have to come here for that. I will cook for you if you come here. But yeah, we missed you a few nights ago. The tteokbokki missed you a few nights ago. Okay. So this dough, after incorporating all the flour, sayang kasi the sides eh. I'd like to thoroughly add all the flour in the corner. Kasi magkano din yan. Okay. Now, I made a batter about an hour ago. And that one, the magic of yeast, of the yeast. Okay. So, we need to put this, we need to cover this in cling wrap, and maybe let it rest for at least an hour. Maybe, ideally in an area. Room temperature in Philippines is what? What is room temperature here? 28? 28 degrees. Don't put it in your air-conditioned room. Some area where it's slightly warm, so it will rise or it will proof much faster. Now, what you want is for it to maybe 2.5 times, for the size to get bigger, 2.5 times. So, cling wrap and cover this. Let me quickly wash.
Chef Andrea, we have a question coming from Nish.
Okay.
Chef, can I make the dough in advance? The next day pa lulutuin.
Yes, I would suggest that, but you have to proof it outside first for at least an hour, then you bring it in the wrap. The longest I've used it was 2 days later, but I believe you can use it as long as 3 days. I don't like making a lot of things in big batches because the fresher it is, the better. So I think for one batch, you just leave it for 2 days. For 2 days, it was still good. But yeah, I know some people who use it for 3 days maximum. Okay, so we have here our hot dogs, and we have here, our Arla Mozzarella Cheese. This huge block is sponsored by Arla, it's gigantic. And the thing with Arla Mozzarella is it doesn't get deformed when you fry it, because first of all, when you fry mozzarella, it has to be cold. So if you think of those Italian mozzarella sticks, when you fry it, it has to be cold also. You don't want it at room temp. Now, we will flip this so I can slice this. Then, let's talk about barbecue sticks. Now, the barbecue sticks used for pork barbecue is very thin. You don't want to use that. So I have these barbecue sticks. It says it's good for hot dogs. It's thicker than the usual pork barbecue sticks, so that's good. But if you don't have that, what you can use is chopsticks. That would work as well. The problem with chopsticks is mahirap ituhog. Kailangan magaling kang magtuhog ng hot dog. Kasi bakit ka tumatawa? Diyan yung nanay mo nakahiya. The tip is not very sharp. It's dull, so it's harder to poke it in. Okay, so we have two options. Actually, we have three options. One hot dog all the way. I'm using Pure Foods beef franks, and we can do mozzarella all the way, or we can do half and half. Now, personally, I would want to know what I'm eating, so ayoko ng surprise. So if it's hot dog, I want it all hot dog. If it's mozzarella, I want it mozzarella. So when I bite it, I know what it is. So you can, if you like surprises, then there you go. Because after you covered it with the batter, you don't know what's really inside. So we can go half and half. I'll cut this in half. Actually, one whole beef franks is quite big, so when I make this, I would make mine half only because it's very heavy. Now, other people like the beef franks or a big hot dog because of the size. But personally, it's very hard to eat because it's quite massive. Kumbaga, one bite cannot be the whole thing. You have to go left and right. Unless magaling ka sumubo. Bakit parang I meant it with no malice. Okay, so we're going half and half this time. We're going half and half because. Okay. When we cut this, it doesn't matter if it's exactly the same because it's going to be covered by batter and nobody will know. So, cheese first. Okay, I'm lowering my heat right now. The target temperature of this is not 350 degrees. The usual frying time is 350 degrees to 375, but you have to understand the hot dog is cooked already and you're basically just cooking the batter and you're cooking the breadcrumbs, which browns very, very fast. So, okay, there you go. That's pretty. That's pretty. So, when you do this, it has to be ideally 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You're good now. It doesn't have to be really, really hot. For me, this size is okay. This size is actually quite big already because, if it's too big, it's hard to eat also. Lagot ka sa akin mamaya. Mag-uusap tayo. Okay, third question kasi may makulit dito. Okay. Just go, my eyes are so bad. Okay, the third person who answers this correctly. So we actually launched 2 new classes of Chef Gabby yesterday. Third person who answers it correctly and gives me the name of one of his new classes kahit na hindi complete. Third person. Diyos ko, ang daming fans pala with all these hot dog, Sinabi ko, natutulog ko, tawa na kayo. Okay. So, we have 4 sticks here. Now, 3 options. One is just, after using the batter, we're going to cover it with Panko breadcrumbs, which is a Japanese style breadcrumbs. Now, option number 2 is to coat it with potato. Now, the potato is sliced about 2 cm, 3 cm in size. Boil it for about 3 minutes, very quick lang. Cool it in the refrigerator. Now I'm dusting it with flour. Dusting it with flour. I don't want it wet because I don't want any splatters. Dahil I'm too old to get, burn marks. If I get burn marks at this age, it's gonna stay with me forever. Okay, so potato, and our third option is instant noodles. Now, instant noodles, why do you want that? It's for the crunch. Now, instant noodles, I'll place it in a Ziploc bag. I'm using half one of it. Do we have a winner yet?
We have
Why am I endorsing Chef Gabby's class? Okay, oh my god, I know the student. Our winner is Jonalyn Untalan. Congratulations! You win Arla butter and a Heinz gift set. Heinz ketchup, mayonnaise, seriously good mayonnaise. You know, they won't name their mayonnaise that if it's not seriously good. Leia and Parents, which is absolutely divine with meats and mustard. And of course, Arla butter is unsalted, so if you bake, it's amazing. Now, instant noodles, you can use any instant noodles you have. I have ramen sari. If you have Lucky Me, use that. Just don't use the powder. Now imagine this, the face of the person you don't like, and you start pounding it. Now I feel better. Okay, so we're going to coat this later on. We're going to start with our basic corn dog. My butter, please. So this is the batter I made an hour ago. So it got bigger. We don't need to degas this. Now, when you place this in, it has to coat all sides. Hinilahan ko na. Okay, we want all of the sides to be coated by the batter. And this batter is a lot thicker than the other batters that are baking powder based. So this is more, it's very sticky, but it's also very thick. Now you can manually cover it with your fingers, make sure all sides are covered. Remember, you're dealing with mozzarella, so the mozzarella is the important one that needs to be fully covered. If not, it will leak and it won't look good. Okay, so some people like to coat their mozzarella with flour, but I don't think it's necessary. I mean, if you can lessen the steps as much as possible, it's better. Now, we don't want this too thick. Remember, we have yeast, so it's gonna poof up a bit. Okay, this one is all covered. Okay, are we ready for another question? Okay, remember all of these TEACA live classes are available in YouTube, so I suggest that you subscribe to our channel so you get all these free recipes. So, let me drop this. Now, again, the temperature that you want is around 200 degrees, not too hot. You don't want your usual 350 to 375. 200 is okay. And you're going to have to turn this regularly because you don't want it to burn. Now, the next option is we're going to do the potato. So this is very thick that you have to manually turn. Hindi siya yung parang pancake batter lang that you actually just dip it in. Okay, next question. Do we have a next question? Where is it? Okay, what? Okay. Ang dali naman ng question. Si Carla talaga is making it easy for everyone. Okay. What is the latest day? Okay, the second person who will answer it correctly will win another set from Arla and Heinz. Okay. Second person, so kailangan mabilis kayo. When is the last day of our GESE? When is the last day for GESE? My goodness, it's all over our collaterals, all over the website. Okay, I'm telling you, this batter is easier to manage if you let it proof longer. Now, when I was doing R&D for this class, of course, you have to verify as many recipes as you can, but the biggest recipe to verify is which batter is better. Is it the yeast one or the baking powder one? And, you know, by far, the one that is usually used in the Korean street vendors, the yeast one won because of the texture. It's just that it's harder to place on. Okay, you can only win once. I forgot to tell you that. I am so sorry. But you can only win once. To give everyone else a chance. Okay, we want everyone to get a chance to win. When is our last day for GSE? And again, I'd like to remind you, you have to have the sharer's badge in order to win. And we have a winner. Oh my goodness. All of our students are participating today. Okay, let me take this out first. We want golden brown, okay? So I would like to leave it here to rest first. And then after that, I will add sugar. Now, why add sugar? Because we're trying to make it as, you know, as traditional as possible, the way they would do it in Korea. I would want to teach you the basics first, or how it's done there. And then if you want to tweak it, if you want to make it your own, that's fine. But always learn how to make it, you know, the traditional way. Actually, I have an older batter I can use that will be more manageable. Sa bahay to. Ako lang ang pokpok ng ano. Okay. Behave ka naman. The live class na. Okay. Now, potatoes. Potatoes, they have to be blanched for 3 minutes for obvious reasons. You want to slightly cook it first. Now, this batter is perfect if you're going to use, if you're going to add potatoes, if you're going to add noodles. If you're using the baking powder batter, it's not advisable as it won't stick very well. And then from here, I'm going to add more panko. Now, will the regular, what do you call this, breadcrumbs work? It will, technically, but it will not give it the same crunch. And honestly, there are a lot of affordable Panko breadcrumbs out there. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this. Now, what's a good cooking oil? Not olive oil. Don't fry with olive oil, just go. That's not for frying. You can fry with canola oil, with corn oil, with coconut oil, anything but olive oil. So,
Chef Andrea, we have a question from
Yes.
June Aquino.
Oh dear.
Hello po, pwede po ba sumali?
Of course. Of course, June, you can join. You have to like the TEACA page, and you have to share the video, this video, and put it in public. Actually, si June magaling yan mag-golf. Balita ko, ang daming awards yan with golf eh. Humble lang, pero madaming post. Okay, so we are going to wrap the third one, and it will brown very easily, so we don't want to go for 350 because if not, you'll end up with very dark colored, what do you call this, corn dogs, which you do not want. Basically, you want to cook the batter and you want to cook, in this case, the potatoes, which takes a very short time. Now, if you're going to sell this, I suggest you get the drying rack to fully drain the oil to make it really crunchy. Oh, beautiful. That isn't that pretty? Okay, and then our last one. Now, with the instant noodles, of course, it's a Korean thing, but you know they have chips made with instant noodles, which is quite nice. But initially, it was very hard for me to eat it because, parang syempre, when you see instant noodles, the impression for me is like, aren't you supposed to cook it first before eating it? But they eat it as a snack there. Para siyang chichirya din. Okay, I am making sure that the cheese is fully covered before I cover it with the instant noodles. Now, because tamad akong maghugas, I'm going to put the instant noodles on the side before I cover it. Okay? Now, this batter is very thick. And if you can lessen the batter and smooth it out, remember, this is not exactly straight. So with the batter, it will look straight because I'm covering, it's a very thick batter. Now, instant noodles, right? Who would have thought? And from here, we press it a bit. We want to make sure it's attached to our corn dog.
Chef Andrea, Chef T said you have to send it to me.
Ano ka? You have to come here. You have to open a bottle of wine and you have to eat it with the wine. Or soju. Okay. And then from here, same thing, we roll it in breadcrumbs.
From Lotlag, hello Chef T and Chef Andrea.
Hey, why lot yung biko ko, I need to buy soon. I miss ko na biko mo. She makes really good biko. Okay, so it looks very nice. It's a nice shape, and then I'm going to drop it now. Now, when you drop your corn dogs or when you fry anything, don't throw it naman. Maawa ka dun sa maglilinis, di ba? Because you have to gently place it down so it won't make a splatter. And, you know, oil, it's not a bad thing. You have to gently place it down. You'll be okay. Now, let's clean up a bit. Okay. Now this one's for Carla. That's for later. Now, what condiment are we going to use for our corn dogs? Now, very simple. The usual ones, the popular ones would be the ketchup and mustard. Some people would go for honey mustard, which is mayonnaise, honey and mustard. I like to use gochujang, which is gochujang with vinegar, sugar, a bit of salt, a bit of sesame oil. Gochujang is actually what Koreans use to dip their, what do you call this, sashimi in. It's amazing with, with everything else. So, while we are waiting for this baby to fry, we'll ask our next question. What's your next question? Did I ask? Okay. Okay, only my students would know this. The first person who answers wins a set of Arla unsalted butter, 2 kilos of Arla unsalted butter, and Kraft Heinz gift set. So, name me, first person, name me 2 of my classes. Ang dali, diba? Ang dali. Okay. You know, gochujang and mayonnaise with a bit of patis and a bit of honey is also very nice. You do not want to, you know, a lot of these foreign ingredients might be foreign, might be intimidating at first, but honestly, once you've tried it and once you've used it, it's very nice too. Okay. Plain corn dog, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do this Korean style. We're going to add sugar. Koreans love to mix sweet and savory, but when you add sugar, we're talking about sprinkling a bit only. And if you're on a diet, I don't know why you're watching this. Okay. So this is our first one. It's done. It's our first Korean corn dog. And then our second one is the one with the potato. Hold on, let's see this, if this is done. Perfect. Now, if you're going to continue frying, I suggest you get something, a strainer, to skim off all the other breadcrumbs that are floating or that have stayed in the oil, because if you drop something new, it might stick to it and you will have some burnt parts and that will taste yucky. You know, nobody wants to eat yucky, nobody wants to eat ugly. Okay, so our third piece would be the instant noodle corn dog. Isn't that pretty? And now what we're going to do is we're going to top it with our Kraft Heinz condiments. I'm going to use ketchup and the mustard. Now, usually the tip is okay, but the tip is a bit too big for me. Of course, if you're eating it at home and it's just you and your kids, it's fine. But because we're still in class, let's make it pretty. Okay, we have a winner. Our winner is one of our students, Lena Du. Congratulations. Okay, mustard. I love mustard. My father eats all kinds of mustard. I grew up loving mustard. Okay, mustard. Wow. Now, the only thing missing here, honestly, is cold beer. Okay, this batter is good for 4 dogs. I have 1 left, a bit of batter left, which is for Carla. I don't know if she's gonna send it to her mother. We'll know soon enough. One last question before we end this segment. And for this question, we're giving away Chef Gabby's free class. So Chef Gabby has 2 classes. One is the Cuatro Caldos, which is using 4 kinds of meat. The 4 kinds of meat are knuckles, tripe, it's gonna kill me if I forget, tendon, isa pa. If, 4 yun eh. What's the 4th one? I forgot it, oh my god.
Beef cheek,
Tripe, cheek, knuckles, tendon. I knew it. Okay, honestly, among all of Chef Gabby's dishes, the kalyos is, for me, by far the most amazing. I love kalyos, but I don't order it outside because, you know, kalyos, you have to know how to clean tripe very well. And after seeing his class, he cleans the tripe so long. He boils it 3 times. He would teach you how to trim it. It's amazing. The sauce is very thick and silky. It's something you eat a lot of rice with, or a lot of crusty bread, and you wipe the bowl with the bread. And his other class is his galantina. Now the thing is, I don't really cook Filipino, and I don't really but he also has an embutido recipe in his galantina class, and I think I ate that embutido. I coated it with egg. You mean it? I coated it with egg and I pan fried it. It was so nice, especially with Heinz ketchup, because I love my family, my kids, they all love Heinz ketchup. So the winner for the last question gets either one, only one, because he said one class, one of his free classes lang. And the winner is the third person who answers correctly. So, ito medyo mahirap. Si Carla naging okay, this is a bit on the hard side. So, we've been doing TEACA live classes for a while. And the reason why we do TEACA live classes is, you know, we want to touch base with our students. And honestly, you know, we really want you to learn and get to, you know, learn recipes that are near and dear to us, things that are very simple that we believe, you know, we can teach you in FB Live classes lang. And this is our way to thank you also for patronizing TEACA. So, like this recipe, it's something I enjoy with my kids when we watch Korean drama. This, I hope you will enjoy also in your home, with your family, with your friends. So, our last question. We've been doing TEACA Live for quite a while. How many TEACA Lives, including this one, are there? Pangilan? Pangilan yung mananalo? Third. The third person who what do you call this? Who gives us the correct answer wins. So this one is not a voucher, it's actually the class itself. I know between the two, there's a galantina and the kalyos, and I suggest you try the kalyos. It's amazing. And that's one of the dishes that is so, you know, it's not easy to, but this one is really amazing. Malagkit yung sauce, it makes you want to eat more rice. And it's fantastic with wine, it's fantastic for potluck. And you can freeze it for 3 months. I've been eating it when it's, you know, a hot rainy day and I don't want to cook. So, right now, to give you an idea, we are going to have more classes coming up. We have Chef Kristan's Tanjong bread class, which features 3 types of Tanjong bread method. Now, I don't know if you know, some of my students know that I own Boulangerie 22. We use Tanjong method because it makes the bread soft. It's a method to make your bread light and airy and not very heavy, because not everyone has a proofer, has a mixer, but this method is fantastic if you like soft, airy breads. This class has 3 different methods of tanjong and 7 recipes for filling. Chef Chris's chili loaf with ham and cheese is divine. I've been snacking on that. When he sent me a loaf, it was amazing. Besides that, I have my artisan pizza class, and Chef Gabby, I believe, is launching a lengua 3 ways. Lengua 3 ways is his lengua estofado, lengua con jamon, and lengua salpicao with a grilled bone marrow. So, do we have a winner yet? Not yet. Mali ang answer. Okay. Oh dear God. Okay, one of the reasons why we want to do this sale and we want to do a TEACA live class is, everyone's been very hot lately, arguing online, and we thought it would be a nice change of pace for people to, relax and just have a break with everything that's happening out there. We will be okay. We just have to be vigilant, or whoever is whatever happens with the Philippines, with our future, we just have to make sure we hold our government accountable. Okay, so wala pa rin, mali pa rin. Oh goodness. Kasi naman, Carla, from a very easy question, you made it really hard. Kawawa naman sila. Okay, my thumbs up sign na. Okay, between the three, the favorite among my kids is the middle one, the potato one. But the noodle one is quite nice as well. So we have a winner. It's Carlo Talal. I'm sorry, Carlo, my eyes are really bad. I actually wear glasses. Carlo Talal, congratulations. Please message us for which class you want to take. Give us your email address so we can give it, or we can transfer it to your dashboard. So this class, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, or with this class or with other classes, please feel free to message any of your instructors. We're always welcome. You're always welcome to, send us any message in Messenger or IG. If we don't reply right away, maybe we're not online, or as long as we reply to you in 24 hours, if not, tell me. But everyone does reply. We belong to a group of chefs who really wants to help you learn. It's really important for us because we take pride in our recipes also. For me to develop this, it took a while then. So I have to make sure that whatever I teach you is the best one you can do. Kumbaga, the yeast or the baking powder one, I believe this is better. That's why I am teaching you. I've tested other batters, and for me, I'm very confident that this is the best one. So, from me, I'm Chef Andrea, and from all the instructors in TEACA, we have Chef Gabby, Chef Pauline, Chef Anya, Chef Anna, Chef Chris, Chef Martin, Chef JB, Chef Ermo. We have, oh my God, we have other chefs coming in. We have Chef Tim coming in also. We're very, grateful for having wonderful students who are very eager to learn. Moving forward with TEACA, I'm proud to announce that we will be having face-to-face classes soon. The country is opening up. We're very hopeful that things will be better. We'll have face-to-face classes soon. We can have a small meet and greet. We'll be actually going to Cebu in a few months, hopefully to meet students who are in Cebu. We have quite a bit there, so maybe just have some coffee, talk for the afternoon, and hopefully things will really pick up. Business will be better. We will recover. Things will be things will be brighter tomorrow. Well, sana, soon. Diba? Kasi medyo mainit ngayon, lalo na ngayon. So, again, the sale, the GSE, is until Monday. We encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity to get a discount in all our classes. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed this class. This is Chef Andrea Amado, and once again, thank you for joining this TEACA Lab session.